So first of all, I just want everybody who's here with me to know that I didn't invite you to hear me speak because I was not originally supposed to be speaking. This was kind of a last minute thing. And those of you who know me know that I'm quite a big talker, but not in public. So this is a little hard for me. So sorry, I have to look at my notes. But Brian, when he told me that he felt like I needed to speak, I kind of knew that he was right, and part of that is I think all of us, no matter who we are and what we're doing, we all want to have a voice, right? And we all want that voice to be heard. And so I don't feel like my voice is more important than anybody else here, but I hope that at least by the words that I have to say that I can maybe make a difference for somebody, or maybe make them feel like they're not alone, or maybe help somebody to not go through some of the things that we've gone through. And if that's the case, then maybe the struggle will have been worth it for us. Our journey with OCD has been long, probably not as long as some of the other people here, but it's felt endless at times. I kind of self-diagnosed my son, his name's Luke, with OCD when he was 9. And when I figured that out, I had no idea how drastically it was going to change our lives. And so it's been 9 years and counting for us. I think I was maybe a bit naive to think that it was a phase that we were going through, or that somehow it was magically just going to go away. But I didn't think it was going to be, honestly, I didn't know what exactly it meant. But what I didn't know is it was going to be years and years of watching my son battle his brain every single day, battle with his brain. Living in so much fear and pain that it was almost unbearable to watch, and it is unbearable to watch. What I thought I was doing was being a good mom, comforting, reassuring, nurturing, helping him feel safe. When he came to me at night as a young boy with so much anxiety about someone breaking into our house, or maybe he was going to die in his sleep or whatever, I thought my job was to make him feel absolutely certain that he was safe. I didn't know that uncertainty was actually what he was needing to learn to live with. And Luke and I had always been close, and I loved that he felt comfortable enough with me that he could confide in me and I could be there for him. And what I didn't know is that I was feeding the OCD that was growing and growing inside him. Sorry. So from 9 until 14, it was a little rough, and then almost overnight at 14, it went from bad OCD to bad OCD. Our lives were completely turned upside down. I watched my child go from being a straight A student who always had friends, who loved to play sports and be outside and travel and do all these things, to one who could barely make it to school, lost multiple friends over the years, and could barely step outside. I would lie in bed at night and just think about it, thinking maybe it was a nightmare, and I'd wake up and it would go away, and cry myself to sleep on more than one occasion. I know what an amazing person my son is. I know all the dreams and ambitions he has. I know how bright he is. I know how capable he is. I know how much he's always wanted to help people, and yet the person that he needed to help the very most himself, he hasn't always been able to do that. So for the past 5 years, I've essentially dedicated my life to OCD. I have prayed so hard. I've read countless books and articles, visited websites, tried to find chat groups that I can talk with, learned about therapies, medications, supplements, oils, alternative treatments, connections between the brain and the gut. We've been through 8 therapists in 5 years. This dedication to OCD has been a trial for my entire family, for my husband and my other children who've often been neglected. Sorry. And for Luke, who I've yelled at, screamed at, cried at, cried with, tried to reason with. and to my extended family as well. I'm often not proud of the way I've dealt with the stress or the OCD. In all my research, I know what I need to do, and yet I'm always torn between doing what I know will help him in the long run, which is not enabling him, and helping him because I can't bear to watch him suffer any longer. He often talks about how he looks like a normal kid, but no one knows how much he's suffering on the inside. I want him to feel like a normal kid. He wants to feel like a normal kid, and essentially he is a normal kid with just a disorder of his brain. He feels isolated because of the lack of understanding and acceptance in our society, which makes it so he doesn't feel like he can always be his true self around others. And this has been part of my dilemma, is wanting him to have as normal of a life as possible, but not always helping him in the right way to ensure he actually gets better. It's been physically and emotionally exhausting, and it so often feels like it has no end in sight, that it will never get better. It's been very isolating for me as well. I used to feel like this really extroverted person, and I've kind of reverted into myself and feel like I often don't have anything to add to any conversation because I'm so consumed by the OCD, and sometimes I wonder if I even know who I am anymore. And yet, this all sounds really grim, which it is, but throughout the entire journey, the one thing that has gotten me through has been hope. It's the thing that gets me out of bed in the morning. It's the hope that today will be better than yesterday, that Luke will feel strong today, that I will be more patient than I was the last time, that he'll have a positive moment, that he will be healed. It's the hope that we'll find the right therapist, the right medication, the right diet, or the right mix of all of it to help him. And I've never ever once given up hope that that's possible. Christopher Reeve said, "Once you choose hope, anything's possible." Luke often says, "You don't know I'm going to get better," but deep down inside I do. I have a hope and a bright future for my son. Sorry. I know it will come. On more than one occasion, I've had people say to me, "I don't know how you do it. I couldn't do it." But you could and you would, because it's your son, or it's your spouse, or your parent, or your friend, or whoever, insert whoever it is. And I know that OCD does not define who Luke is. It's just a pretty big bump in his road to becoming his best self. I'm blessed beyond measure with an incredibly loving and supportive family. From my husband and our children, to my parents and my siblings, and all of our extended family. They've listened to me complain and cry and express my fear and pain on more occasions than any of them, I'm sure, would like to admit. I have some of the dearest friends I could ever ask for. They encourage me and make me laugh and make me want to be a better person. And we have the most amazing neighbors who have been so supportive in so many ways. Some are here today, and many others have donated and sent beautiful words of encouragement to Luke and our family. And I just want you all to know I couldn't have made it through these years without you. I don't know where Brian is. Brian, thank you. We're going to say 8th time's the charm. I just want to close with a favorite quote of mine is by Jeffrey R. Holland. He says, "Don't you give up, boy. Don't you quit. You keep walking. You keep trying. There is help and happiness ahead. You keep your chin up. It will be all right in the end. Trust God and believe in good things to come." Luke, I love you. I see you. I believe in you. I know you will beat this. Please never stop having hope. Your future is bright. You will be the bringer of light that you've always been destined to become. Thank you for hearing my voice.